And with that, welcome to today's video. I'm out on the Black Forest today on a bit of a hike. I got a bunch of camera gear with me because I want to take some photos. And I also do have the new and as of yet unreleased DJI Pocket 4 in my hands, which I'm using to film this right now. And since I've been using the Pocket 3 quite a lot, I think I can give you a good impressions of how this is different, what's been improved and who it is for. So let's see about that, but also it is still very much snowy up here in the Black Forest. I honestly wasn't expecting that. Over the past few days down where I live, which is about 1 kilometer further down the mountain, we've had fairly springy, summery temperatures like 15 to 20 degrees Celsius. And so I really honestly wasn't expecting there to be any snow left, but check this out. I mean, it's not a whole bunch, but still something, and should make for some great photographic opportunities. So let's see about that. So what about this new camera then? First of all, it does still have a 1-inch sensor, but it is a new one. So apparently they've improved the dynamic range. And the second main headline feature, at least for me, is the fact that it has now full true D-Lock support. So full-on DJI lock mode, not the mobile version that the Pocket 3 had, but full-on D-Lock. And so since the new sensor does have 14 stops of dynamic range, which is pretty wild for a 1-inch sensor, and it now also offers full-on D-Lock support, yeah, the footage just looks outrageous. I mean, I've used this camera in Como, in Italy, like 3 weeks back, and also in Portofino, and I've had the footage of this Pocket 4 side by side with the footage from my ZVE1, which I shot in S-Log 3. And yes, S-Log 3 is still more dynamic. There is a difference, but honestly, you really have to look out for it. It's so much so that you can pretty much use the same kind of grade that you would use for your S-Log 3 footage for the footage that you get out of this guy. Again, not quite, but the difference is so close that it's just outright amazing to me, especially considering that this is just quote-unquote a 1-inch sensor, while the ZVE1 is obviously a full-frame camera. Other than that, they have apparently also improved a bunch of other features like following modes, just gimbal tracking and so on and so forth, which, truth be told, I thought were pretty great on the Pocket 3 already, but hey, there's always room for improvement, I suppose. More important to me is just that the whole package just seems a bit more rounded. Everything is just a bit more streamlined, a bit more compact, like this mic that I'm using that's included in the Creator Combo package now. This is the small one, not the bigger one, the DJI Mic 2 transmitter, I think it was, with the Pocket 3. This is the smaller mic and it works amazing. There's also a smaller cage for the Pocket 4 now, so the entire thing just takes up less room in the pocket. Everything's just, again, a bit more streamlined, a bit more compact, and also a bit easier to use. There are also a few like new gadgets, like a little light that you can magnetically clip onto the camera for when it's dark and you want to film yourself. And also one thing that I did like is that you can still use accessories that you had for the lens for your Pocket 3, if you had those, like the ND filter that I'm using right now. It's just the ND filter for the Pocket 3 and it still works. And I just love that kind of stuff. I love a bit of continuity between generations and for accessories, because it just makes, you know, getting into an ecosystem and using that for more than just, I don't know, a few years, just easier and less frustrating overall.
Okay, so personally I mostly use the Pocket 4 for video and prefer shooting photos with a dedicated camera like this Hasselblad X2D2, but I just wanted to quickly let you know that the Pocket 4 also shoots photos with up to 37 megapixels, and since it also shoots RAW, it's definitely more than capable enough to grab some quick snaps here and there.
It's so outrageously beautiful out here. I'm at Lake Mummel right now, and I mean, yeah, no further explanation needed. By the way, right now I'm just using the internal mic of the Pocket 4, just saying. Okay, so now I have to walk up there, but that's not so bad really. I'm really kind of worried about walking down here, so the descent on the other side, since it's like just a solid layer of ice underneath the snow. That's not exactly ideal, and I don't really want to die on the mountain today. Or do I? Ooh, this is way too bright. Well, started at the bottom and now I'm here. This is the top. It's quite bright.
Alright, I'm currently editing this video and I just wanted to pause real quick to let you know that even though it doesn't look like it on the video, it actually was like super bright up there. But again, in between the ND filters and the dynamic range with that new sensor and the D-Log, yeah, it really doesn't look too bright, does it? Now I could obviously just raise the exposure in post and make it look as bright as it felt in real life, but I just really wanted to keep that in there as is, because I was actually quite impressed by how well the Pocket 4 handled that situation. I mean, in between those bright clouds and the bright snow below me, I was pretty much inside of a gigantic softbox, and I think the Pocket 4 handled that pretty well. Anyway, back to the video.
The sun isn't even fully out yet, but with all of the reflecting snow, whoa, I can barely keep my eyes open. But would you look at that view? There's a bit of a view going on. Now I wonder if I can get a coffee in there. That would be lovely. I mean, before I try that though, I do have a banana with me. Would you mind following me, please? Oh yeah. Stupid me. It's probably not going to follow me when I haven't enabled active tracking it. Now I do though. And as you've just witnessed, you can use active tracking even with just gestures, which is amazing. I could also stop recording right now, stop active tracking, even from a distance of up to 5 meters away, I think. But yeah, pretty cool stuff. And this guy, man, I love this camera. Ooh, cold. By the way, many of you in the comments always tell me that my nose sounds super stuffy in every one of my videos. But yeah, this time I really got a bit of a running nose. So it's not the microphone, it's my fault. Be that as it may, I'm now going to enjoy my banana and feel like I'm living a healthy life. And after that, I'm probably going to head in there and get some French fries, or maybe at least a cappuccino if I can. Gotta warm up a bit. It's a lot colder than I expected. trying to get a few quick snaps of this tree situation right here. I'm in pretty deep snow, but this looks just too gorgeous. I don't know how well you can see it on camera. Probably not too well right now since I'm standing in front of it. No idea if that works on a frame, but in real life at least, stunning. So this is what I was trying to photograph just now. Isn't it beautiful? So just a few more shots. By the way, I'm working with the 55mm prime right now at f8. It's almost 11 a.m. now, and at some point I do have to get back down because my wife is all alone with our son and he's got a bit of a cold, as do I. Yeah, and he's not liking it and he's letting us know. So, but it's beautiful up here. I mean, god damn.
Alrighty, so turns out I didn't really die on the descent going down that mountain, but that cold actually got quite a lot worse. So I've been sick as a dog for the past few days. However, with that said, I've been using the Pocket 4 for a good while now. And honestly, when I first saw this spec sheet, I was a bit underwhelmed. I thought, okay, no really big new updates here as far as I can see. So what's the big deal? However, having used it for a good while, I can report that it actually makes a huge difference to me, especially the improved dynamic range and the ability to shoot in full-on D-log now. Those two factors combined now just mean that I can use the footage of this tiny little camera side by side with the footage that I get out of my full-frame Sony cameras. There will be some difference, but really I have absolutely no issues whatsoever putting clips of those cameras side by side and use them in the same project. And that will just lead to me using it more often overall. And as I said earlier, there are also just a lot of minor improvements that just make a really big difference for the overall package. Stuff like not having a big bulky case around the camera to protect the gimbal, but just this little thing here, and also having those two new buttons just makes interacting with the camera a lot more streamlined and easy. The new mini microphone, I love the quality and just how easy it is to use, how small it is and so on. Yeah, it's just more convenient, and that's kind of true for the entire package here. The battery lasts a bit longer, but that difference again makes all the difference. So this is a camera that I can use all day on a regular like vlogging day without having to recharge it, which wasn't necessarily always the case with the DJI Pocket 3. And I don't know how much they have actually improved the internal microphone on this camera, not quite sure about it. But to me, it just sounded better. I had way less issues with like wind noise and stuff, so that worked great too. And lastly, it is noticeably better in low light situations, and also like the fact that you have that clip-on light now, which you can use to just light your face when you're in a sort of a dark environment. Yeah, makes vlogging in those types of scenarios just a lot easier.
All right, so I decided to take the Pocket 4 on a little evening stroll. As you can see, the sun is set already and it's just after blue hour, so there's just a teeny tiny bit of residual light in the sky. It's also fairly cloudy, so fair to say that it is really dark. And I think just judging from the screen, this footage would still work. But if I use this gadget and clip it onto the back of the Osmo Pocket, yeah, as you can see, that's much, much better. Now I can tilt that light towards me, which makes it like really bright and illuminates the entire body, or I can tilt it up, and so then it pretty much just illuminates my face, but in a very soft and I think flattering way, and also just doesn't, it looks more natural, especially with the bit of light that is still going on in the background. Yeah, I really like that. So yeah, improved low light performance, and you get that clip-on light, works really well in the dark. Oh yeah, and forgot to mention it, I'm also using the black mist filter for the Pocket 4 right now, just FYI.
Overall then, this is a tool that you can use for sort of professional-ish, prosumer-grade footage and cinematic footage, if you like. Obviously, it's incredibly smooth. Obviously, the tracking is a huge advantage and it works really well. I also do like having gesture controls to activate and deactivate that tracking mode, and to start and stop recording and so on. And so, yeah, it's just a really well-rounded package. And again, I also just like the fact that I can still use my ND filters that I had for the Pocket 3, and there's a bit of continuity, which just makes getting into this system or continuing to use the Pocket system a lot more convenient and less expensive. So that's all I got for you today. I really am looking forward to the day that DJI will actually unveil this camera, because then I can really go out and use this for real, without having to be worried about spilling some secrets by accident about this as of yet unreleased camera. And so I'm really looking forward to using this a bunch more, especially for all types of travel, video shooting, and vlogging about any photography trips that I'm about to embark this summer. Again, really looking forward to that. I hope this was interesting to you. If it was, let me know by giving this video a like. And thanks again to DJI for letting me be part of this product launch. And I will see you guys in another video soon. Until then, take good care. Bye.